Welcome back everyone to Twin Peaks, the map that we've created ourselves with two large islands either end of the map. It's an elongated map and a lot of small tropical islands in between. So without further ado, let's just crack on into it. So I had a little think quickly. I say quickly, I mean I've just been sitting here having a quick look around the map, taking stock of things. So each map or each city has two demands, a commercial and an industrial need. So this one, for example, is construction materials or bricks and food. So what we've done here is set up a distribution hub for these two cities. I've got similar for Hong Kong's is over here. So Hong Kong's is here. We've got Changsha's here and Ankara's here. And what I was thinking we could do is possibly combine some of them over here. So we've got one for Dhaka just down here, and Hong Kong's just down here. So Nagoya needs machines and food, so we could potentially work with what we've got over here for Hong Kong, or move it somewhere a little bit easier to do stuff with. But effectively roll in Nagoya's as well. Oh, bless me. We could also just basically move some of the roads a little bit so that things interlink a little bit better. In fact, a road that comes up and meets up here is probably going to be a bit of a better sort of connection. Maybe even up here, because that goes basically to where it wants to go, which is across the river. Or across this, I mean, it's not a river, it's like a mouth to an estuary. So if we did that from, considering this is one of the main routes up, and then hopefully it's not lost on me that I just did this lot a few episodes back, which kind of sucks, but it'll mean that we'll be able to have more space for this hub down here, and possibly improve things a fair bit. So let's just see, we would want it to come in about up here. Probably around here, and it would be going in this direction. So if we even took it from further back, there's nothing to say we couldn't start the curves from way back here. So if we take this one and plug it in there, boom, there we go. We've got a decent, nice sweeping curve up to there. And then we still have where these can interlink. Let's just change it to that road so it's similar to that one. And upgrade there. I might even change this a little bit. So if we have this road connecting there, that might be a little bit nicer than what we had before. So, can connect this one into this main road. We've got this that covers the 4 or 5 even oil wells down here, so that will come in handy. I think we should probably honour the old lines of these roads, so we can come out this way and connect in there, and then we'll just tidy up the fields here so that they are all correct. And then it may even be beneficial to have this one flying over to here. Not quite so dramatically. We just want a small flyover. We don't want anything super crazy. Just because if we had a connection like this, it would be a big interruption between the two. Whereas because this one's just a small connection, the node isn't too big and what have you. Hopefully it shouldn't interrupt the flow of traffic quite as much. Right. So if we take this from further back, maybe even back here into there. And then from here where it already comes out for the main transport through. I'm not too sure how I feel about that. With this one not being dirt. Anyway, what we can do then is possibly come underneath here, and it would create quite a little sort of connection both ways. It's just a case of how far down. That was the wrong way. It needs to go. Ooh. There we go. And then we could have this one coming up here somewhere. Maybe even this could carry on through to a point here where it meets this. I don't know why it's so far. Ah, there we go. It just needed to go up a little bit more. So if we delete this back, then this pretty much honours that old line. But it connects up here instead. And then we could do one of these up to here, maybe. Let's get rid of that whole road, because more and more connections on this is not good. Let's just make that abundantly clear. I don't know why they were. in effect, I've kind of made a pointless connection because I don't know why they would come over this way when they've got just a throughway here. But it's just a little bit of more of an interesting sort of connection there. So hopefully it'll become useful, I guess. I don't know. But yeah, looking back on it, actually, don't know about that. Right, so we did that so that we could alter this, but now we haven't got the space to alter this, which is hilarious. Perhaps instead of going that way, this comes this way and connects in. I don't know. We don't actually have a connection through for like this area through this way other than going through here, which I'd rather not have them do. Maybe we can make something a little bit more interesting, like this coming out this way, connects in here. Narrow angle. Okay. Is it because of this? No. Narrow angle. That's an interesting one. I think it just means that the junction was not possible. So we'll do something like that, and then this becomes almost like another point where we'll need a few possibilities for the traffic to be able to flow there. And of course, if they want to go off this way, they have multiple options now. They can go through here, or they can come down this way and go across. So that's all good. Alright, so if we were to extend this, we can do it on this side, and we can do it on this side. I wonder how many we would need for Nagoya. So Nagoya has quite a spread out area, which is slightly annoying. Where are the current ones? Here and there. So pretty much in the same area. Okay. So we got machines going there, which we can remove because we'll have those going to over here, which we already have. Machines for Hong Kong. In fact, this is a line. This is not for Hong Kong. I don't know how many lines there are for machines. 2. I've probably misnamed some other ones, so there may be more. There may well be more, but never mind. Alright, so we can effectively get rid of this one. So we will do that. And I don't really like the thing being there, so I'm going to remove it. We also have food 1 and 2 here. So 1 comes from over here. So it's quite a far route that it has to go. And number 2 comes from down here. So possibly what we could do is have our food factories bring all their food down here. That way they can be distributed out to all the other islands via the harbours, and we could also then distribute them out to the cities that need them. We already do that with Delhi. We already do that with Ankara and actually Ankara is the only one. I thought Changsha needed it, but Changsha does not need food. What else needs food around here? Okay, so those are the only three really: Nagoya, Delhi, and Ankara. They're the three that need food. So I mean, it is kind of adding an extra step to things that aren't necessarily needed, but it means that we create one central area then for those products to go. So we've got the plastic coming in there. I mean, we could utilize this bit somehow. Like maybe if we went more up and then straight, and we could have connections through. I don't know whether those would connect to this. It's going up this road a fair bit, so possibly. Would this one reach? I don't think that one will reach. So all the food would have to come from this one, and it's already full. Which I'm leaning it against, to be honest, because we can't expand that one. It's got a thing here. This one needs more vehicles. Let's just get some more vehicles on there. Where's that line going? Is it going up this way? Up to here. Gotcha. So it's delivering to both Changsha. Oh, actually, no, bricks. Yeah, bricks to Changsha and Ankara, and then goods to Changsha. So that's quite a busy route. But that's just one example where we could do bricks, food, goods, all on the one route. And then those vehicles will constantly be in use. They'll be a lot more utilized than before. So what we can do is, number one, we can expand this. We can give it another terminal. I don't know whether we can do another one. No. The next one's just one too many. We can clean up these roads a little bit, and then what we can do is ultimately create a little depot on the other side to deliver things to. So if we just delete these back a little bit. Could probably do a sweeping curve there. And then what we can do is if we create a straight road here, this will connect in here. This one will connect in here. We just create a bit more of a pleasing junction than previously. It's only subtle, but it's something. Clean that up. Delete this back a little bit. And we can plug that into there, create some more pleasing curve. We can upgrade this road because it's probably going to have a maybe another delivery depot on the other side. I mean, we could spread this thought out actually, because we have technically got a limited amount of things that we need to deliver to cities specifically. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 cities, so 16 different things. And considering the depots that we're making, like one route can take both food, bricks, and goods up to here. we don't have to have multiple routes doing different things, because we can use the same trucks to take this multiple things. Similar with this one, we can take the goods, the machines, the food, and the bricks up to here. We don't need multiple routes. So if we start to think about on that terms, how much space we've got and what we need to deliver, then we start to know what will be required, and we can do what we've pretty much already got, but a lot cleaner, I would imagine. So that might be worth looking at. Hopefully we can do that somewhat soon, because we've got a distribution bit for Hong Kong, we've got a distribution bit for Dhaka. We don't have one for Medan, and we don't have one for Nagoya, but we're just about to hopefully utilize those. So I'm thinking if we bring it down to here and then take it on from there. So if we just put in a delivery spot to begin with, that, I see. So it's actually picking up some grain on the way as well. So you're going to be dropping off food here. And you're not food line 1, unfortunately. You're food line... Actually, you're food line 5. I've not renamed one of these, so let's go ahead and do that now. There we go. So that line effectively changes things up. So now food for Nagoya 2 is the second leg of this. So we can bring all the food to this one point, and then it will be distributed out to the different hubs. That's the idea here. And we can also bring it in on the boats. So I'm going to move this one to up here, where it will be delivering to the depot food. Again, we can merge these potentially in time when we rejig this. But right now, I'm just going to keep it as how we've got it. So this would be line 6. So we've got 3 food cities, don't we? Nagoya, Delhi, and Ankara. So that's where this hub comes in. Then it comes up to here. So if we're looking at how many hubs we need, or how many delivery points we need, oh, we can't connect those, which is going to be annoying. That will be too much of a slope. Still too much of a slope. So if we did maybe a hub over here somewhere, it may go partly up that road. Maybe we just need a separate one. So we've got one there. If we did one, remember this is the main road through this area. So I'm not going to do one on that road, but I may do it on this road next to it. Or something similar. Yeah. I think I'm going to do it on the road next to it. So this way we've got this area down here covered. We've got this street which just wants to do its own thing, covered. It's going up a mountain. Let it be. It's its own Beautiful street. This one even covers down quite a far way down here. Luckily, that's about where it cuts off for things when it comes to residential, so don't worry about it creeping into this area. This will be quite a central position, and then we'll need one probably over here and one over here, I would imagine, because Nagoya's just, it's not necessarily the biggest, it's not a very big city, it's only got 800 people, but because it's sprawling in so many different directions, you need quite a few depots. So, stops, I mean. So we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Wow, okay. And we have 3 terminals free, so we need another 2. Can we fit that on here? Yeah, we can. Nice. Okay, so we need 5 lines. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So these are all going to go to what we just created down here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And for some reason it's picking the hardest colors to see in this mode. So, you know, it is how it is. Right, so if we pinch that name, if we just go into this one, so it's cargo. Oh, if I can type. It's via the road. It's for Nagoya, but it's actually food and machines. When food and machines become one. So we'll call them that. We just need to pinch that string. And then back in here, we can name these very quickly by just pasting it in. Oops. Nice. Cool, cool, cool. So these ones, they're going to be picking up food and machines and dropping off food and machines. We want them to fill up, but we don't want them to wait too long because they may be taking one of 2 things. So if they're waiting for too long, then they'll get in the way of the other things. So we'll put that one on number 10, gets it out of the way over here. So that's the first one. I want you to fill up, wait for 30 seconds. We would like you to fill up on food and machines and unload food and machines. So we're just going to do that for all 5 of them. Food and machines. Food and machines. Go for 30 seconds. Food and machines. Food and machines. I think this is the last one. That's good. 30 seconds. You'll go with food and machines. Here with machines and food. There we go. So maybe we could color them something a little bit different. What haven't we done So we've got sort of like red colours for darker. We've got very turquoisey blues for Hong Kong. Delhi we've gone orange and brown. Kawasaki we've gone blue. Changsha we've gone red. Ankara we've gone orange. So have we done any greens? I don't think we've done any greens. So I'm going to do greens for this one. Just something that's a little bit more vibrant. It pops out of this mode, which just turns everything a very light color and tricky to see. So we've got that one on number 10. We just need to go backwards from 1, I think. So 1, 2, 3, and 4. And then that should be spread out. And what we can do to improve the connections here is do an exit for both sides and do an entrance as well for both sides. And I'm just thinking maybe we do it like there. So that should hopefully help with getting things into and out of this area. There we go. Autosave always picks the best time. There we go. So how are the lines there now? Yeah, they haven't really changed that much. It looks like some things are using this one, and they're all going in this way. So we got to be pleased with that at least. Okay, so we just need some vehicles on there now. Over here, we can buy some of these. There's 5 lines. I don't know which line is going to be the most popular, so I'm just going to buy 5 and pop them all on with 1 and try and keep an eye on it, because we don't know where the demand's going to come from for that particular one. Excuse me. So we've got tools, we got machines, we got food. So that's all of those. Maybe we could spread this out a little bit, put another connection in here. Something like this. So if we pop in a connection here, and then change maybe food. To there. And tools number 3. Okay, we should probably be filling up from here. So we want to be filling up on tools. It looks like that other line needs a lot more vehicles. What we can do is, number 1, just upgrade them so those vehicles can go where they're going a little bit easier because they're a bit faster and what have you. But number 2, we can probably add a few more. So which terminals are things going to? They're both going to the same terminal. We can switch them over so that they're, utilizing all areas there. We could even maybe upgrade the road down, just so that it's a bit thicker coming down. That may help. Something like that. And then you've got different vehicles going, different lines going on different lanes, which is good. It spreads things out a little bit more. Okay, nice. So we've got pretty much like a direct route through for Medan here. And we've also got a good connection from Hong Kong over to Nagoya and also through to this side of Medan. So I'm quite happy with that. This we need to keep an eye on because we need to be delivering the whole shebang of it. So I'm going to add another vehicle to this. If it's too many, then we'll soon know. But at the moment, it looks like it's too few. How are these doing? These are going backwards and forwards. That line seems to be doing quite well. It's delivered 800 things. Wow. It's a lot of stuff. I'm quite happy with how this is coming along, to be honest. It'd be nicer if the traffic lights were a little bit better at dealing with things. Like if it knew, right, if this light is green, this light could be turning right. Or if this light is green, this one can be going straight ahead. That sort of thing. Then it would just clean a lot of problems up so quickly. If this one's green, then this one can be turning right. That sort of thing. It would just mean that stuff can flow a lot better than previously. Got a lot of stuff waiting to come in and out of here, haven't we? Maybe we need another entrance and exit. Can't do one there. Can't do one there. Hopefully that entrance, though, should allow things to get to where they need to go a little bit better. What even are these? These are to the harbour. Okay. Why on earth are they going that way when they could just go straight across here? Oh, they're going through this area, which isn't going to be great. It's very busy, as you can see. And it only takes things to back up a little bit for them to then become a bit of an issue. So it's something we need to keep an eye on, really. But hopefully, with this delivering more food more regularly, this lot shouldn't get stuck as much. Route 2 goes up to here, so that's actually quite a key connection. So why is it not getting as much food as the other ones? Maybe it's just because the other two haven't had trucks on them. I reckon now that these trucks turn up, they're gonna take all of those off their hands. There we go. How's this one doing? is only getting so much. It's not getting what it needs. So we could look at that in the future. Does this need more? We've only got 86% going from there, 80% going from there. I think that means yes. Maybe another 5 would do it, but I feel like it's going to be disproportionately coming from this side. So this one will need to wait a lot less time. Maybe 45 seconds, and that's it. Even that is like pretty high. Whereas over here, 3 minutes, maybe more like 45 seconds, because where it's got to fill up both on coal and ore, it could have 2 ore from a connection over here, and then have stop a whole load of ore from getting to where it needs to go, so it'll only be taking coal. Potentially. What's this doing? Why is this boat just... Let's go to Lars Port over here. How are these ones doing? All of this is transporting to where it needs to go. That's getting a fair amount of stuff. That's getting nothing. Why is that not getting any steel? Why is that getting so much of it? Is it something to do with this has more consumers? So it needs more demand? I don't know. These are still going strong, which is good to see. Okay. So, we're getting food up here, we're getting machines. We may have too many of these vehicles up here. As you can see there, that was waiting for more tools, and they weren't coming along. So, it was blocking the path in. Ironically, here comes more tools. But you know, you never know when these things will come along. This one looks to be quite busy, so I'll put another one on there. The others not so much. So that's probably the one in the center, isn't it? Yeah. So that's covering quite a lot of the main central area, whereas these other ones are sort of satellites affecting the areas around them. Nothing's really getting up here, which is really weird. Why is that route so busy? Why? When we have a train line that goes down that way. That is bizarre. And our Hong Kong clockwise is really busy. So where's that going? It's going into the city this way. Right, so that's why. Okay, if Hong Kong... Is it because there's multiple things on the same terminal? It is. That is extremely annoying. Look at all these people going to different places. Never mind. Sometimes these things happen. You can't help it. Once again, these are waiting for tools, but we've got a whole load of machines there. But here comes some more tools. Hopefully enough for this one to fill up. No, it's just taking 17, 18. Well, at least it'll take more to where it is needed, if I can get my words out. We're getting about 60% of the tools to where it needs to go in Hong Kong. Medan is another one that we need to put a basically do a depot for. I'm very tempted to... Oh, wow, that is very full. Let's get some more vehicles on that. My goodness. We don't want these things to go to waste. Here comes more tools. And that's now overflowing. Let's bump it up to 10 vehicles. That's quite busy. So I could do another depot down here, and that would basically utilize this tunnel through, which would be quite useful. Straight through to Medan on this side. So if we look at Medan, we currently have goods delivered here. When you can see there's a whole load of area over here that is not getting anything. Are we actually already providing goods? No, there's no similarities here, so we'll probably need to do a separate drop-off zone, and then that can become sort of its own depot area. It's probably the best way to sort this out. There we go. So, put something like this in. Put another depot on this side. And I don't know how many we'll need for this, so let me just move these, because currently they're delivering here. So these are coming through from here, which we could retire now. It's no longer needed for them to come from straight from Changsha. They could come from over here, which would probably be a better solution. And in fact, we already have one for Medan. So if we just swap that over, so it delivers there. And then we also have fuel. Now fuel's a little bit interesting because we probably have Medan fuel here, don't we? We do. So we can deliver the Medan fuel down here instead. And then, do we have any fuel? Goods, bricks, food? We don't. So the Medan line here could also take fuel, but there are fuel trucks, so I'd rather do a separate one, I think, for fuel. We'll have that wait up to 60 seconds. It's only going to be taking one thing, so hopefully it won't hold anything else up. We'll have it go down here, where I'll go to number 1. It's going to be this sort of darker, just trying to figure out which red it is. I don't think we have that red available anymore now that we're using the more colors mod. So we've got fuel line Medan line 1. So let's just take that out. This will be fuel line 1. That's probably another fuel line 1. So these might need to be renamed. Yep, we had a fuel line 2, so if we just call that one line 3, then it sorts it all out. I think what we would like to do is move fuel line 1 to number 1, and then it all goes to one place rather than 2. There we go. So that will be for the delivery of things. We will need 40-ton tank trucks to take fuel down there. There we go, that's the line. So it literally just comes down this road down there. What we also need to do is set up where it will be delivering to. So we've got this line. This line's now redundant. We don't need it. So we'll sell those vehicles. We'll remove that one. And this is actually just a line. It's not to Medan specifically. So there we go. Alright, let's re-evaluate where we're delivering things. So where else are we delivering things? Here. Yeah, let's re-evaluate now. The city's a lot bigger. Where we're delivering things to. So I reckon one down here would be quite good. So literally just as it comes in. And that will cover most of this area down here. We could do one up this way, and then it will cover those extra ones up there. It's a little bit annoying that's not just one road. Then we need to do something down here. It's a shame there's not a road straight through here. Can we do something there? Like just there to there. There we go. And then that will become, if I can click on it, most probably the next spot for a depot. So that's one. We need to do something over here, I think. We can clean up this road. Connect it straight to there. That might actually be a nice area for it to deliver to, because that covers quite a large bubble. We've got stuff down here. I think we're just going to have to put one on the tram lines, unfortunately. And then stuff over on this side, which is going to be tricky to do one what's the word? Unload stop. One unload stop to provide to both. Can we do a road underneath here? We can. And then can we do a road that goes underneath here? We can. So that can connect in there. This can come around this way. And then we could have this plug in here. This plug in here. This plug in here. And then all of a sudden, we've got this stop that delivers to a lot of that area. And we got one here. Don't know why it's two. Why is it two roads? Why isn't it just one? Why can't it read my mind better? Come on, game. Become one spline. There we go. So that's one length of road now. So that covers up that way. Actually, connects a few of these, maybe? So it's not actually covering this area. Neither is this one. That's annoying. Meanwhile, this one's covering a fair amount of this. So maybe we move this one across a little bit further. Somewhere like up here. This covers down to the bridge, which is perfect pretty much. And it also covers a little bit more of this area. So we'll remove that one. We'll make that one our new go-to spot. We've then got this one down here, which covers a bit where the tunnel comes out. And we've got this one up here, which covers around this area. And also around this area. So yeah, I think that's good. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 different stops. I don't know why I'm doing it this way. I can just replace it down with 6. There we go. I think what I'll do is make it a little bit larger. For those bigger trucks. Would it be the entrance? It would be the entrance, wouldn't it? Do we want this to connect in down here? Possibly, possibly not. This road comes pretty much straight out this way. So what we could do is do like a connection there, and then this goes up. Is that too high? That looks too high. How high would it have to go? I reckon that can be a bridge. Maybe. Maybe not quite. Connect that one into there. So it would be pretty much from there to there. So if we just take this back a little bit, then we can have a separate road off that way. That actually connects in quite nicely there. There we go. So now we have connection on this side. Let's do a road out that way to connect up that way through. I doubt things will use it, especially considering they've got a direct bridge over to where they're being picked up from. But hey, let's see what goes. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And it looks like 4's used. Doesn't you spread them out as well? What is it doing? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Why is that so hard for this game? One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. There we go. So that would be cargo via the road. It'll be what does fuel and goods? Medan. Line 1. Line 2. Line 3. Line 4. Line 5. Line 6. Oh my goodness, I've called these Crago. Or Crarago. That's when the copy and paste tool is not your friend. I wonder how long that's been set up that way. Oh, it's to Nagoya, so it must have been this episode actually. So that's not too bad. That's alright then. Alright, so for Medan, number 1, we want these to be filling up maybe 30 seconds at a time. They're going to be loading up with fuel and goods, and that is definitely what this city needs, isn't it? Goods, fuel, yes, good. And then they're just unloading. 30 seconds. Fuel, goods, done. 30 seconds. Fuel, goods, done. Oh, we'll get there eventually. Fuel, goods, done. Seconds. Whoops. Goods and fuel done. 30 seconds. Oopsie daisy. Fuel and goods, that's done. So that's all of them there. Let's just get 5. No, actually it's 6, isn't it? 6 of these tarpaulin trucks and pop them onto the relevant lines that are here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. There we go. That's it all set up. So now everything goes to its depots, either here, 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 or here. And that's all we've needed to configure, to be honest. Now that we have a centralized sort of place for it to go to down here, I mean, half of me, I'm going to regret saying this, half of me really wants to do another train line, like the train lines on the other island. And then there's the sane half which says I shouldn't do that. That would just be far too much work, and it will reduce me to tears to try and get all that sorted. But to be honest with you, I can clean up this harbour no end. So what we can do is we can reduce down the amount of lines that are down here, because number 1, we've got a lot of food lines that are just literally just food lines. Number 2, we've got these which are pretty much empty. Well, I say empty. They don't have their full loads, but that's because some of them I've already compacted down. So this one takes bricks, it takes machines, it takes goods, it takes a bit of everything. So we could improve this area if we really wanted to. Just wondering what's turning up. Machines and goods, machines and goods. Gotta get me some machines and goods. Why are these trucks coming over into this lane before the turn? They can just go over like they are, but they're not. I guess what we also need to do is set up a distribution area from here, because not everything that's on this island will be utilized by everything that's on this island. So we could have some more harbours on this side to take deliveries of, say, crude oil or grain. So how much grain? It'd probably be easiest to look on this one. This one, so you can do 400. You need 2 grain for every 1 food. So it's 2-to-1 conversion rate, and you need 2 farms to do 400 wheat. So you need 4 farms for every 1 food plant. Blimey, okay. So we have 1, 2, 3 food plants over here. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. So actually we're quite close to having enough grain to deliver all the grain that's needed to the farms, or the food processing the food processing plants, I should say. So that's not too bad. And then we've got other things like machine factories, tool factories, plastic chemical plants. We've got steel mills, just all sorts of stuff. All sorts of stuff that needs various different things. We have a steel mill over here, which could, in theory, create all 400 steel, which would be a huge boon to the economy in this area, because we can bring it down and utilize it elsewhere. We just need so much more steel there, don't we? Hold on. Aren't we creating steel over here? Oh yeah, they need coal. I forgot that. I forgot that they really desperately need coal. Is there anywhere else? I mean, this one's kind of being utilized now over here. That one's being utilized. Who's consuming it? All of these. That's not too bad. Where else is there coal? There's some coal there. Coal there. Coal there. So we could bring coal in from different areas, and that might mean that a lot more of this gets produced. It might even produce it quite quickly, to be fair. So what I'm going to do first off is expand this so that we can have more docks to it. as soon as my computer catches up. I've done something that it doesn't like. Heaven forbid. Right, and then we need landings. Oh my giddy aunt. Come on, just place that thing. Place the pontoon, there we go. Right, I'm going to place this next one and grab a drink quickly because I'm really thirsty. So I'll be right back after I place this. I'll be 2 seconds. Right, I'm back. Sorry about that. So we are still placing these things. It's not too bad, I just have to smash the button and then it places them all. There we go. So make sure they haven't messed up. No, good. Cool, okay. So now, if we bring in more coal from elsewhere, so I mean, we could do coal and ore from here, really. And we got wood. Let's just do coal and ore from this one. There we go. Do 2 lines here. One for coal, one for ore. Not that ore's really needed right now, but oh my god, look at all this ore. So much ore. That's nuts. Again, ore and coal can come from this one. I mean, maybe it would be better to send ore to this one up here, considering these probably have a whole load of coal. But anyway, so if we just add, it's going to take a minute to think about it. But once it's thunk about it, we can place the next one on. So much thunking. It's got to thunk hard. It's got to think about where the boat's going to go on the sea, which is obviously not as easy as you and me just drawing a line between A and B. Because there's islands, there's other harbours and all sorts of things in the way, which is what's slowing it down here. Right, so those 4 now have stuff on them. Where is the shipyard? Here is the shipyard. I'm not going to mince my words. They're going to need quite a few. So this is 1 to 10 for line 1. 1 to 10 for line 2. 1 to 10 for line 3, and 1 to 10 for line 4. Cool. There we go. Jobs are good. So we don't want them all on the same one. We like them to spread out a little bit. That'd be nice. There we go. Cool. So line 1. If we go back up here, if you fill up on coal, then line 2 can fill up on ore. And then you'll just drop off on the other end. And then over here, line 1 can fill up on coal. Line 2 can fill up on ore. Cool. There isn't anything here that needs steel. There is. So there's potentially something for them to bring back in the not too distant. Right now, we'll just leave it as is. Cool. Okay. All right. I mean, we could do cargo around here. Like, we've got places where there's build-up of cargo buildings and what have you. And there's actually quite a bit of space Like, we could work in train lines into these areas if we really wanted to. It's just, I don't know, like, I don't know how we're going to get past Medan and Dhaka. Over here is where I would want a station, and quite frankly, there is not enough space. Like, because it's on a hill, and I guess the station would have to go here. I don't know how we would get round Medan. Probably doing similar to what we've done with the other train lines and going underneath and then over the area here. I don't know. I'm in two minds about it. I do want to do it, but at the same time, I don't think realistically we'll be able to do it. Unfortunately. You know, on top of everything, we'd have to squeeze it in over here, right where it's already a very busy area for our roadways. I mean, traffic right now is going to be pretty bad around here. So I don't know what we could do. It would at least help the traffic, but at the same time, it would also mean we'll have to work out where the rest of all the traffic on the roads goes. Or at least, let me reword that. It would mean that we'd have to fit it around all the roads and things that we've got going on here. Which, to be fair, might not be too tricky because we could have like a station over here. No, we're not. Let's not look. If I start looking at it, I'm going to want to do it, and I do want to do it, but at the same time, I just don't know if it's really possible, if it's feasible, if it's something we should really be looking at right now. We've got these top-hauling trucks coming up. We've got these empty fuel tanks, which is a little bit strange. Why don't we just have 5 big ones rather than 20 small ones? And why is that line not filling up down here? It's waiting for 9 minutes. And there's plenty of fuel. What's going on there? Why is it not getting the fuel to where it needs to go? Could it just be traffic on the roads? Could they all be up here? That is bizarre. Oh, I haven't done these a different colour. What colour should we go with? I'm going to go with yellows. Because while it isn't my favourite colour, we don't use it that often. And this is actually more like a green, but it's on the yellow line, so that's what we're going with. So Medan at the moment is probably going to go down with how much it's actually getting, but it should go up once we start getting stuff over here. We got fuel line 2, which is coming down from over here. Oh my goodness, everything's just so Eesh. Like, backed up. It's not good. Oh my gosh, there's 3 or 4 vehicles there. What is going on? Maybe we should just change it to one of these rather than it delivering here. It's probably going to help a great deal with getting the stuff out from there. Do we want it there? Maybe we want it there. It's quite an interesting little route through. Why not? Do it that way. I always knew that having stuff on those would be a bad idea. Unfortunately, beggars cannot always be choosers in this game. I'm still very tempted to do train lines. Even though I keep telling myself not to. It's just a matter of how we would put them in. I mean, it's quite nice actually where these are on a sunken area because they can go into tunnels, go underneath things like the airport, and then they can go to where they need to go. Like, say up here, or over here. We could then utilize coming through this way, where we put this bridge in, we can have lines going through. I'm just going to end up doing it, aren't I? I'm not going to lie, this is the problem area. So maybe we just avoid it and we use the one down here. So we circle back around, come down here. But then we can do delivering all this stuff. How are these doing? They're actually coping quite well. We can do closer connections to these sorts of things. We haven't actually had anything loaded yet, which is a bit annoying. Where are all these? Come on. Wouldn't be surprised if they're stuck. No, it's going empty. Why are you going empty-handed? Turn around. Go back to Shangsha Exchange down here and get your stuff. We've got a fair amount of food just come in. That's good, that's positive. How's Nagoya doing? It's not necessarily got more things to it, which is a little bit annoying considering how much stuff comes down here. We've got food machines, goods, bricks. We've got all sorts down here. No tools. But then again, we've got tools being built on this island already. If I was to put a train station anywhere, so bearing in mind it would have to be a big ass cargo station. It would probably be here, which no doubt we could connect to that steel line as well. And we don't have to do 8 lines around the entire map like we did with the other one, which was a huge pain. I'm trying to talk myself out of it, remember? Not talk myself into it. We could relocate this line to come round the cargo here. Place a decently sized cargo line in here. We could even have maybe a couple of stations. But we shouldn't. I am the worst. We're starting to get stuff to over here, which is good. This desperately needs mule vehicles. And there's probably too many that I've put on there now, but I'd rather have too many and cut them down than have too few and see the product go to waste. This is just madness. This is just utter madness. I don't know what we can do about all this, annoyingly. We don't have multiple things on one terminal, do we? We do. How does this happen? Time after time. I guess in some ways it getting in its own way can get things stuck. So it's not always as clear as it could be as to what the problem is. What if we upgrade these roads? We can't. Did I just remove that for nothing? Yeah, it looks like it. And now there's a collision. Oh, why? Yeah, it can't be that. It's gotta be that. This is working very well. These are working quite well. Let's keep things moving here. What's this one? This one has 15 already. Wow. It's still just full. That's bizarre. How's Delhi doing? Has Delhi grown? So it did take a dip when we changed things around, put things over here. But it looks like it may well have benefited from it overall. So these are getting busier. And surely this line is getting busier. It is slowly. Slowly but surely. Why on earth we've got those in the central ones? I'm not too sure. We're bringing in some coal, which is good. It means that this lot can keep producing, and their consumers are these ones. What supplies it? Plastic from there. We need more plastic there, really. Look at these numbers. That's way too high. We need more plastic there. What's brick line 2? It comes up here. It doesn't need to be quite that busy. We can move it from number 7 to number 2 maybe. And then that should mean it comes in this way, and also it's got a larger station stop for it. You literally just had stuff turn up, so turn that around. Food. Actually, this one just causes so many issues. I just need to remove so many of those damn trucks. It also seems to be the one that takes the least food, which is bizarre because it's because it's Ankara, it's none of the other ones. So actually, if we swap this one onto this line, it might be better, considering this one does Nagoya, it looks like. It's taking quite a lot. we got loads of quarries that just aren't really being used. Okay, I think these need more vehicles than what they currently have. To be fair to them, they're going to one of our biggest cities, so... Oh, that did a delivery. How much has that done? 15! Woo! It's all got to stop. It's all got to start somewhere, hasn't it? So that's decent. I'm happy with that. Maybe we could have it come through. We don't have to go over here. We could come through here. Admittedly, that would be quite a lot of track going through a massive mountain. I mean massive. Massive. There's also got to turn around here and turn into a tunnel. Which wouldn't be too bad actually, because it should be above this tunnel. So I think what I would do, learning from last time, is probably have a station here and a station here. This one would go for a route here, and then this one would go for a route here. But it is just such a lot of stuff to put in. I was kind of hoping that we could use, like, way back when, I was kind of hoping that we could just use these train lines that we put in for the passengers, but it's not going to do it. No way, Jose. The annoying thing is, if we did put stuff in now, it would rip out a lot of what's already there. Any chance we could get some more coal through on this one? Please. If I upgrade that, then stuff's going to start using that way, isn't it? That was the main problem with last time. Fuck it. Just do it. See how it goes. Just because this is just nuts. So what's this line? Machines. Well, let's reduce it down. See, if we had trains, we wouldn't have to worry about this side of things. Again, I'm talking myself into doing them. Maybe we just need to do trains. If it's that hard to talk myself out of doing them. Okay, they're waiting 10 minutes. And they're picking up 2 things, aren't they? No, they're just picking up machines. Well, that's not too bad. If they're only picking up machines. could upgrade this stretch to be 3 lanes. This one's really struggling. Where's this going? Down here. Oh wow, that's actually for Medan. So yeah, we might need to put some more on that one. See if that helps it. I just think that a lot of it is stuff can't get to where it needs to go. How many depots do we have? We have 1, 2, 3, 4. So in theory, we only need 4 lines. So we could reduce these down quite a lot. Even if it means that we have to have stuff delivered down on this side from up here. If that's the case, then that's the case. Why are these going not full? They're only waiting 30 seconds. Maybe they need to wait a little bit longer. Like 45 seconds, and then they should fill up. Hopefully. I don't think we need quite as many, truth be told. Especially if they're not going full. They should be filling up. There we go, that one's full. 20, 25. I mean, this has so much stored. I mean, we've got lots of plastic there, but we shouldn't ignore the supply train. Oh, these are all waiting. Oh my gosh. I mean, I could help it to no end by just spreading this out a bit more. And combining things. Which I'm very tempted to do. Where have these come from? Over here? Or from over here? Wow, they've come from across the map. That's pretty nuts. Ooh, that's busy. How's things down here doing? Nothing's overflowing, which is the main aim of the game. So we're coping quite well. Which is nice to see. And it's all coping quite well when it's what's the word? Diverging? Not diverging. Merging into two lines. So that's pretty decent. Things are just waiting slightly. But I mean, there's nothing to pick up. So. It's just very mesmerizing, this game, isn't it? When it's working the way you want it to. If I could get the other side working like this, like clockwork. How much has Incheon grown? Huge amounts shopping-wise. Not so much jobs, and quite a bit with the size as well. Probably because the emissions has come down and the supply's gone up. That being said, this is where their residential area is, which is quite a lot of emissions, unfortunately. How's this one over here doing? Fairly well. Likewise over here. How are these? Yeah, they're moving people from A to B. It's working. Wow. Everything wants to go to Yekaterinburg. Nothing to Shanghai. Shanghai's grown though. So it's getting more and more stuff come through to it. Oh, I didn't mean to click on you, I do apologise. These are coping quite well. Doing about 200 passengers. Is it a month? Is it a year? A month? 3 months? Every 3 months, so it's quarterly. Looking at things quarterly. That's a lot of steel. That is not going to where it needs to go down here. Which is frustrating. And it's probably because of this lot. Look at all these machines that need to go places. It's a crying shame. We could improve this maybe by putting this stop over here, maybe? I don't know. Now that it's coming through, it shouldn't be too bad. All of that's getting to where it needs to go though. Which means that we've got way too much on that line. Still got tankers coming in for that. How many tankers do we have on that line? 15. Without stuff like this, though, we don't see where the what the efficient amount to put on the line is. So that comes down to here. Then it goes over here. Oh, right. So it picks up oil, distributes it over here. I see. Again, there's a lot of vehicles waiting. It should be pretty much, as that one's filling up, this one's leaving. .45, I'd have hoped it should be enough time for it to fill up. I guess we'll find out with this one, whether that's enough time. No, it's not quite. So they need a little bit more time there. Let's do 30 things. It's probably going to be the same here. Yeah. Got up to 50 seconds. Look at them, they're all waiting here. Although we do have two lines here for some reason. Getting steel from places, which is good. Don't tell me this is one from the other side of the map. No, okay. It's just multi-purposing that one. Wow! That needs more vehicles. And that one probably also needs more vehicles. Which means Hefe's probably grown a fair amount. Yep. That's quite a incline on the old graph, on the chart. Only 90% of this is getting to where it needs to go. Is it more of a transport issue? Those first two are very busy. In fact, I'm tempted to move number 1 to number 3 and number 3 to number 1 because it's just got that little bit more capacity. Anyway, let's go back to our airport and go back to the other side. Here we go. So we have four depots, and if we do this quite smartly, we don't need huge delivery places. But we would need it in the future for when we're hooking up other stuff, like other raw resources and what have you. I'm still very tempted to do the train station. So what it would be, probably be an 8-lane train station. And then I would say a road along here. We could have this road come through this way or something and just clean this up a whole load more. Because right now it's not as good as it could be. Would we be able to fit another one on this side? Potentially, although we'd have to rip out everything else that we've got there. And it's going to be very tight to fit it in there. In fact, I don't even know whether it would. We could expand it out this way. And then we would probably have enough space. Would trains go underneath? Something like this. Don't do that. Please. That, no. Yeah, it's colliding with that, so we wouldn't be able to go underneath there. Which would mean that all the tracks would need to go this way. Probably go underneath this lot and then pop out here maybe. Come through this way. Have another station up here. Have it going across somehow. I want to do trains. I do want to do trains because it reduces this so much. Then again, if we did the roads properly, it may also help a fair amount. Do these not need another vehicle? I'm tempted to put another one on in there and then have them wait a little bit longer on either side. In fact, that's pretty perfect. I would say wait here for 60 seconds. Wait there for two minutes. Sod it. So I think if we were to do it, we would probably have this be pretty straight here and have like a road on the sort of between the harbours and the train stations. To be honest, we don't have to have two. We can just have one. So that would come up to... It'd probably be best to have one here. It'd be so much nicer if we could have curved stations. Just gonna go out on a limb and say that right now. I think there is a mod for that. So where do we have the most stuff? We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. It's mostly on this side. Which means that connecting this side to that side is going to be a little bit more tricky. It would probably be best to have these be on this side. Something like putting it there. And we'll work the roads out, I think. The question is whether it could go into a tunnel, because it would ideally go into a tunnel over here. And that would be 4 lanes from here, because we're not going to do the full 8. I think what we'll do something like this, coming around, and then it would sort of merge. Maybe between like there and there it can be the full 8. I don't know. In fact, it might need us reworking what we've just put in. But that's fine. It's this is a big change to this island and the way that stuff's going to transport. In fact, we're going off that way, aren't we? Yeah. So, having this lot change again, I don't mind too much. We really want to have the trains connect up here, though. So, if we had... if we put it there... Mind you, these would replace those trucks coming down here, wouldn't they? It would no longer be needed. So we'll keep this, because ultimately we might have to edit it, rework it going forward. We'll just upgrade this so it's a nice, faster road through. But then what we need is this to connect into there. How far does it have to go before it goes into a tunnel? Question on everyone's lips. Oh, come on, just tunnel. Okay. Oh no, come on. Don't do this to me. Seriously? Why are you in the way? Why? Realistically, we can't actually go many other places with that. So is it just because it's going under a... Is it just because it's going underneath... Oh, hang on. Where is it colliding? It's not colliding there. Is it colliding here? No. It isn't. So if we just did 8 lines going backwards and forwards underneath the taxiway, so it can do trains under the taxiway, but it can't do it anywhere else. How far can we go until it's too close? It's too much. That's pretty close. And that's 4 lanes now. So that's pretty much what we would have for everywhere else. I would guesstimate. So what I'm going to do is put the 8 lines underneath this lot, and then we have them there, and delete them a little bit further back, and then link them in to where we want them to go. So it just means that I can draw it underneath here, and that's 2, 4, 6, 7. This is number 8. He says. It's always the last one, isn't it? So just not there. There we go. So if we delete these back, we then have a place in the middle. If we can delete them back, that these 2 sides can meet. There we go. So if we just delete these back, redraw it from either side. So this one, this is pretty much the moment of truth whether this will work. Yeah. Good, 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 good. 2. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Proof of concept, it works that way. Now, this may also be where the problems lie. Okay. Ah, that works. If we take it down a notch, it works. Oh, I'm so glad that works. So again, take it down a notch and it works. This is nuts. We've got cargo train lines going underneath a passenger terminal. Ooh. Okay. This bit doesn't work. Maybe if we just follow this one up to about here and then come out. No? That works. Don't know why the other two didn't. It's a shame we can't sort of make this one tunnel, even though they're split apart. Like, I mean, we could, but let's just be happy with what we got for now. So what this will serve as is like a central hub for the stuff around it to come to. Can we put... No, we can't put steps on the other side, which is kind of what I expected, considering we weren't able to with the other line, with the other roads. So then what they would be doing is going off this way, splitting into or merging into 4 lines. I mean, we could just do it with 1 station, essentially. I don't see why we couldn't. If we expand this out, then it gives us more space around here to do with what we need to. We're probably going to have to go, we're going to have to get rid of this road and go into this area here. Maybe even get rid of this stuff that's on sort of the same level. Alright, so if we have to remove this stuff. Then we would have 4 lines coming down this way. 1, 2, 3, 4. I mean, we could just do the full 8, to be honest. Once they get here, it's not an issue. Two, 4, 6, 7, 8. So that will be plugging in there. Interesting, it sort of goes down. Should it be doing that? Is this not level? Where's the... This is level, why is it? Maybe these were off. Which is slightly annoying, never mind. Yeah, they should be flat. 2, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Hopefully, presuming we have enough trains to get the throughput up, this will resolve any previous issues we may have had with cargo on this island altogether. So it's pretty cool, I think. We want this to just essentially stay flat. And not become a bridge. In fact, it's fine that it goes into a bridge, we just want it to be a high-speed bridge. So, can you be that bridge? That bridge everyone loves to hate. Let's face it, it doesn't have as much character as the stone bridge, but it's got dem speeds, 186 miles an hour, which is the max speed of the rail. It's pretty decent. It's just ironic that that road goes just so close to where it goes into a tunnel. So, if we actually delete a couple of segments back here, then it means that we can go into a bend a little bit earlier there. So, considering we're going to go with trains, I'm just going to have to destroy this, what's currently here. We could put it into one of these. There we go. So these are going to come over here instead. Instead of there, go there. You're going to be picking up tools, filling up. This will actually serve as two purposes because we'll want to essentially be having a road go through for that Ujima flip. The words escape me right now, but it's steel mill. There we go. Right, so we need to delete this. Delete that back. Do we upgrade this road? It'd probably be best to do it prior to putting in a train line that we can't really change where it goes. Like if we're going to do it, might as well just put it in, do it right, you know? There we go. So if we then, ooh, I don't really want to delete that. it's funny. This was a highway road before. It's been stolen by the city, so we'll need to make that. I didn't mean to do it on the other end, but it's fine. Autosave. Why do you do this? It's always at the wrong point. It's always right when I'm doing something and not nothing. There we go. So we need oh gosh. Okay. First off, we need to replace what we removed. So if we put a road there, we can put a building there, and we can do a turning. In fact, it's probably nicer if we did something like a road there, turning into that. There we go, it's already picked it up, so it's not too bad. Stretch it to as far as it'll go, so then we can swap these terminals around. The ironic thing is, once we get these train lines in, that will become what uses. it won't need this. This will become redundant. Like a line from where does Thieves even go to? Down here? No. Where are we getting those planks? From down here. Ah, so we won't actually have a train line there, but maybe that we could put one in there. Possibly. Would it fit? Will it fit? It possibly could. Especially if we if we expanded this out a little bit that way. It could fit. Oh, this is becoming a mammoth undergoing. But we knew it would be. It's I didn't want to do this, but I did at the same time. Oh my god, look at that stupid. Oh, it's fine. It's fine. Give it time. It'll give it time. We'll sort it out. So we want you to stay flat, please, while you're going around the curve. What we'll essentially do is that's 4, 5, 6, and then this will be 8. We'll connect these into these other stations. That's don't know about that. I don't know about that. Let's just whack on the smooth tool, try and sort this out a little bit. Oh, it's a tool order for the smooth tool. But it's going there. Look at it. Wow. Smooth out that side. It's doing a good job. This, unfortunately, is just going to be pretty much cliff. I don't know what else we can like whack it up to 1 strength. Just try and sort this out. Just trying to reduce that sudden drop. It's better than it was. And it cost us 1.2 million. Oof. We'll just pretend it doesn't exist. Maybe. Oh, God. I think... Have we done one too many? I think we have. Whoops. That's fine. Just delete that one. Alright. Okay. So this stuff needs to connect into here. So hopefully it will do it far away enough from everything else. And in fact, that's so close to not being a tunnel. Oh dear, that's not actually a good thing. Because it means that this one might not quite manage. Has it done it? It's come out as a tunnel. Okay, maybe if we just raise it a little bit here. So, opposite of smooth tool, let's raise this up. We will smooth it afterwards. We just need to get the tunnel through here. So it might look a little bit lumpy. Just bear with me on that one. So we don't want this to come out of... I mean, it would look good, but because it's going to be right next to everything else, there we go. Right next to the other lines, it would look very odd if one of them came out and the other ones didn't. Boom. My own genius sometimes scares me. Joking, of course. So. There's still a lot of work to do. And to be fair, if we have a connection over here, it might be better to move the depots over this side. But that's not for today, I don't think. Today's getting it all in, hopefully. And sorted. Alright, so if we try and help lumpiness over here. It's not doing too badly. There we go. Okay, so then we need to go underneath this way. Where would the best place for a station be? I would say here. And then have another one down here maybe. But it's not going to be easy to fit them round all of this. How thick, realistically, is this? It's like, okay, you're not going to be able to see this, unfortunately, but I'm just measuring it with my fingers on the screen. Oh god, I'm getting crap on my screen. Right, that's roughly how big. Ooh, ooh. So I'm measuring between here and here. We might be able to get the lanes through there. It would be very jammy if we can. And I don't really know whether we can. So where would be the limit of where I can place this? Like, there is pretty much can we get 8 lanes through here? If we can, oh my goodness. I think we're going to be able to do it. Look at this. So that's 5, 6, 7, 8. Out of interest, how much space was there? 9? Oh, we could have done 9. So there's not much leeway at all. But we did it. So that goes through there. Maybe if we did a station like this way, then it can go off into a tunnel underneath this stuff and go up to there. We talked about altering this line. Which way does this one go? Which way is this one going? That's going that direction. So we would have to edit this quite a bit and bring it down this way. So if we just, it's going to look nice for the passengers at least. It's going to look really nice. It's going to be a nice coastal route where they have a lovely view of our shipping lanes. If only aesthetics actually mattered. Could you imagine if the passengers were just like, I did not enjoy this journey because I had to look at an oil tanker that was only half full, taking a whole load of oil to where it needs to go. Other than that, it was quite a quick journey. Right, so that would be where it would actually go. I don't think we'd be able to connect that stuff, so maybe having one station around here would be better. And to be fair, we can connect this other stuff up to it. I think that's probably the better way to go. Keep the stuff that we've already got in. So that will connect up there. This will connect up here. So if we start deleting back from here, where does it merge? Probably the spot that we need to go from. About here. So I'm going to push stuff that may already be on this track back. Hey, we're removing a level crossing. That's a positive, I suppose. Take it back to where these merge, which is there. Then we'll just link these in together. So these ones on this side. And these ones on this side, which would be that to there. The beautiful thing is, if the trains are taking the main brunt of getting stuff from A to B. Which brings up another question. Where do they go from here? So if they're coming through this way, they might need to go through here. Oof, okay. It's another juggling act. Don't know. Do not know at this stage. Okay. What can we do here? So we would want the train station to have a connection to these, which to be fair, we could move. We can't move any of the other, like we can't move the farms, things like that. Or at least we can't without mods. That's sort of what I would want to do here. I would not want to move things. So if we put a train line in here, then we can move this stuff up to here, because to be fair, we can merge them. We can do stuff. We can make it work. Whereas the trains can't really go anywhere else closer. Oh, wow, that one's busy. Just bump those up. Bump these ones up. And that one. Just put a couple more on there. Keep things flowing. If anything, this massive change is going to bring a whole load more stuff that... Oh no! There's too much curvature. Okay. What do we do about that? To be fair, that might be a blessing in disguise. If there's too much curvature, maybe we should move this station. So we've got what? 1, 2, 3. We got 4, 5 there. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 things around here. And that's not including this stuff if we were to pull some of that stuff over. So does that warrant changing where the main road through this area goes? Possibly. Quite possibly. I mean, it used to come through this way anyway. This used to be the main road through. And then we moved it here. We could swing through this way. So then if we had, because these stations are just so big, and it's not just going to be this size, we're going to have other stuff sort of supporting it around it. So it's not just going to be this bit. We could possibly go that way, so have the road on the opposite side. That could work. I mean, really, like, round about here is probably perfect. The annoying thing is the plastic, like, it would be perfect if we didn't have to have something connecting this station to the plastic. If it just connected via a road, that would be pretty much ideal, because then it wouldn't, stuff coming in would just go straight into the factory, if that makes sense. I realise that we just made this lot. I mean, if we moved the road so it came more this way, number one, it would actually be a pretty good connection into Nagoya here, albeit it's going on a bit of a steep incline. Like, if you look, that's a pretty steep hill. We also got all the other stuff around here, but we could continue this road round. I think we're just going to have to do that. Have a road on the mountain, a mountain road, if you will. At the very least, move this one so that it avoids this area, because this is pretty much like the middle area for all this cargo. So if we then why is it going down here? I just want it to remain flat if we can. Like that. Wow, that is very steep. I don't think the game does it justice on here. So maybe we need to follow the hill a little bit. In fact, if we can remove this bit, we're going to replace this road. Annoyingly, we've just put the train line in down here, so we can't go on the other side here. We could probably, yeah, scratch that. So we could probably come up this way. Everything's going to just use the shortest possible path, so nothing's really going to use this one, I would estimate, I would guess. But I want to put it in as a feasible way through. So we go up this way, ironically into where the old line came through, the old road came through down here. let's keep that flat up to there. It then goes into a curve down to there, and then goes into there. It'll go behind this farm, like so. And the train line will... Can we make it follow the road? Oh my gosh, I didn't even realise you could do that. Yes, please. Please follow the road around that curve. That'd be amazing. I mean, it's very tight. It's 72 miles an hour max speed, but it's going around a coastline. So probably better if we do this further back. There we go, redraw that. So essentially this road will be coming in here. I would guess we'd want it to come around like a sort of a I just don't know how we're going to make it connect up here. I guess it's going to have to be quite a tricky one. Can it just be very flat and straight? No? No, it doesn't like it. What we could do is go off this way. And then plug in to here. It's a little bit weird, but it'll work. Right, so we can still have the road come down here, but essentially what we're trying to do is alter its path, its path of least resistance. So if we then took a road off this way, it came through here and went up to this one. I mean, the tunnel was just going to have to be there, unfortunately, but maybe we can put a road in from here to there. That's pretty tight. Essentially what I want to try and do is like I don't know, a road off of this main road. Alright, so we're going to have to remove this stretch and put something else in along here. Maybe even that bit. keep this bridge because it could come in handy. It pains me to think that we're making some big changes here, but them's the breaks. Didn't mean to do that. So we need to replace this once autosave does its thing. So this is still the main road through. I don't know why it's changed it to non-highway road. Probably the game has tried to steal it from me. So let's just keep it as highway because we want that speed to be there. Because stuff's only going to use that road if it's a quicker way through for it. And if it's a higher speed going through it, then it's more likely to be able to be at that higher speed. Or be a better way through for it. So how do we do this? How do we do this? If we pop this here, we've got that bridge coming across, which we'll be able to go over, I reckon. If we keep it going flat. Might have to curve a little bit. Maybe raise it in the center a little bit. It's got to go over building. No. Our good old friends bridge pillars are playing it up, but it's fine. We'll work it out. So we'll have this connecting here, and then from there it's going to connect into this road down here. We'll have a road in front of this, which this will come down to, and then that connects these two, and we can quite easily connect this up to the quarry here as well. We'll just do a road around the quarry. Which could actually quite nicely link into the road to the other quarry. There we go. It's funny how these things connect up. Right, I'm not too sure what we're going to do about this. Where the train lines are going to go. I would think that we'd probably need to, if we take this back, we'll need number one, somewhere for these 6 Dakar lines to come out. So that would be somewhere like here. In fact, that ties in quite nicely with the road that we've got there. So we could have the Medan lines going on the other side maybe. expand this. Probably to a point where we can then have another entrance. Maybe there. I'd like to incorporate that road coming out, but we might not be able to. Wait, that shouldn't be an entrance, that should be an exit. What am I doing? Right, so we want this. We don't want it to go up. We actually want it to go down. We just want to bring these to a point. Where we can then connect them into these. What happens if we just try connecting them? What is the line of least resistance that it's got? Goes through here and here, and then it tunnels here. Okay. Well, the train line's the most important bit here, so let's just remove what we've already done. And we can do so much better than what we've got. So. Let's just push it back ever so slightly. In fact, I don't know why we don't just do pass the least resistance straight up there. So what would that look like if we were to link that to over here? Connection not possible. Right, so it is going through the city. If we lower it, it's not possible to go straight down. Okay, okay. So we probably are going to have to go on a bit of a curve. We could probably delete some of this back, but I don't really want to delete all of it back. So that's flat. What happens if we connect that up? So it comes out of a tunnel there. It's not quite where we want it. So it tunnels down to there. Okay. That's not too bad, is it? It's pretty decent of a way through for it. So then if we did 6 other lines coming through from there. And then connect that into there. That into there. So this is pretty much gonna match where that other one goes. To think I was going to merge these lines. Never mind. To be honest, if we're going to have a train station effectively just be for one of them, it's probably going to need it to... Where did it go to? About here. It's probably going to need the 8 lanes just for throughput. So that's 4. No, that's 5, 6, 7, 8. There we go. Sweet. They are all going to connect. At least they should. There we go. So now that one's connected down to here. Admittedly, being in the cliff face, in the hill, helps quite a bit because it means that it goes straight into a tunnel, which helps us in this particular situation. Right, interestingly, this is the only bit of dual carriageway we've got there. So we could alter this a little bit. I mean, really, Dhaka needs some decent roads going through it. Construction not possible. That's possible. So can we upgrade? No, of course we can't. So essentially what we're trying to do here is create a strong route through for traffic to get to where it needs to go. So plug that one into there. We'll move this one and this one. And then we will create a road up to here. So this allows things to go from here to over here a lot quicker going around than going straight through all the suburbs. Or at least that's the idea. You know, in practice it may be slightly different. I mean, we could alter this slightly so that the road flows through here a little bit better. But what I want is for the traffic to come down this way to get to Dhaka, and then only go that way if it wants to get through to maybe Medan, which coming down this way, it shouldn't. It should go along this route, which we have yet to put back in. But yeah, that's sort of the direction it should be going. So if we look at getting this into a tunnel, it does go into a tunnel. We can even push the tunnel quite far. Quite far back. So we would want 8 lines going this direction. So that should be 2, 4, 6, 7, and this is number 8. Going into here. And these lines will just connect into their corresponding station terminal. So after that, where would we want another station? Maybe around here? Because it would be able to pick up from this. Possibly even from this. It could serve as a divider between the two. What's going on with the... So we've got quite a steep drop here. And again, some steep drops here, so we would have to place it around here, which is going to be a problem for the existing line, because it currently just goes straight over the top. And then we'd have this other train track. Oh, here we go, height at mouse cursor. So this is 3.1. So 0 is at sea level. This stuff up here is 23 meters high. So it goes from 24 to 0 quite drastically. I would like a train station around here, because then we can have another area for the cargo to come in on this side. I mean, what we could do is have this hug this road a lot closer coming up, get rid of this stuff, then have a train station here, and then the cargo would have to go possibly up here. We can move where this depot is, have another train station up here to deliver to that depot, possibly extend where this goes, and then have it come through this way. Possibly another station here. And then the existing public transport line is a bit of an issue. But given the size of Changsha at this point, there may be something there to say we should combine Changsha and Ankara, like we did with Kawasaki and Delhi. Possibly. I don't know. I don't know whether we should. That's a big change. But then I would say the only other place to have a station would be up here for the Ankara depot. That being said, we could literally just have it come up here, and then we can move this over here. It would probably be a better place for it over here. There is ample space for a train station here, which is good. Don't know what we'd do with the lines once we get up here. They'd probably have to tunnel underneath Changsha and then possibly I don't know what they would do here, because this goes quite deep, I think. Maybe we'd have to raise this bit in specifics, tunnel under this way, coming up here. But then again, we can't get round. We'd have to go around the steel mill, which will be a bit of a pain. But yeah, I would say that's half this island done. We're putting in the cargo line. This one's going to be trickier. There's less space. There's more cities in a smaller space. This one's been tricky as it is, and we've only got, well, we've got about double the amount of usable space as this one. So yeah, I think I'm going to leave it there. It's been a real pleasure to play this episode and talk myself into giving myself a headache with train stations. But nevertheless, I hope you've enjoyed. If you have, then consider subscribing or following or liking or whatever you want to do. But yeah, until next time, have a good one.